You are watching Up Punta Cana with Kristi Maggio, una americana italiana en la República Dominicana since 2013. A teacher at heart, but her curiosity has sparked new opportunities. Director, businesswoman, humanitarian, talk show host. La curiosa directora has decided to become the student. Go behind the scenes to get a closer look at what this country is all about. And Cher is here with you. So, if you love everything Dominicana, stay tuned. This is Up Punta Cana with Kristi Maggio.
Hey everyone, how y'all doing? This is Kristi Maggio with another episode of What's Up Punta Cana. I hope everyone had a fantastic week. As many of you know, I do everyday inspiration of the day on Punta Cana Hits Radio, and I started doing this at the beginning of this whole pandemic with COVID-19. And the idea was to bring some hope and inspiration to our listeners. Since the world right now is going through a crisis and kind of sort of trying to get out of this crisis and adapting to all the changes, people are still and have been really disheartened and unsure of what the future holds, and I myself am a bit one of those people. However, I do know that all difficult times, and as many might call it the storm, I like to call it the storm, brings eventually the sun. And you're like, oh, how cliche is that? But so although when you're in the middle of the storm, it is difficult to be positive and figure out what you're going to do and how you're going to resolve all of these situations, you tend to focus on the negative, correct? Probably. I mean, that's normal. However, what if I told you that focusing on the negative and the bad thoughts only returns the same negative and bad situations to continue occurring in your life? Like, they just keep going over and over again. And what if I told you that by changing your mental thought into being positive and believing that you're going to come out of the storm bigger and better than ever, it's just a matter of changing your thought process. Would you believe me? So for my listeners right now, I want to test you on something. So I want everyone to think of the biggest problem that they are facing right now in their life. Like, really think about it. You might be facing financial difficulty, you lost your job, your children are going to be homeschooled and you don't know what to do with them because you're working from home and you have no food. You don't know how you're going to pay your bills, you're sick, whatever it might be. Okay? So I'm going to pause for a minute and I want you to think about all of that, those negative thoughts. Are you thinking? How does it make you feel? Anxiety? Stress? More negative? All right, now, hold on a second, because this isn't going to be a depressing show. All right, now that we've done this, let's test the other way. I want you to think about what you truly want in your life now. I want you to think about positive thoughts. All right, what truly makes you happy? Okay? And this might be difficult. You might have to think about it for a minute. I hope it's not that difficult. Close your eyes. I'm going to pause again, and I want you to really think about what job would bring you joy. What do you love to do? What is it that you want to create for your life? What do you want to have? What do you want to be your reality? Okay, so I want you to think about that for a moment. Now really envision yourself in that scenario, in that situation, having those things, whether it be your dream job, how you feel, whether it be your health back, what you would do, where you would go, whether it be a new car you've always wanted or a dream house, whatever it is, it doesn't matter what it is. Just put yourself in the vision of whatever it is that you are thinking about that would bring you joy, and put your mind into being there right now in this very moment, and really let that sink in, okay? So think about it. Think about being there. Think about how you feel. Think about the happiness it's bringing you. All right. Now, how do you feel? I feel much better. I don't know about all of you. I'm sure you all must have some sort of excitement inside of you, thinking about being in that place, being at that moment, having that in your life. I'm sure you feel positive, but do you really realize that it's not just a dream? Although you might be far away from it at the moment, it's not just a dream. You may not be able to have it, like I said, right now, but your thoughts will ultimately create or bring that joy and those positive moments into your life just as easily as it would be to keep on thinking and feeling the negative thoughts and the negativity, and you keep bringing the negativity back into your life. The two things, it takes the same amount of energy. It probably takes even less energy for the positive thoughts. So what would you prefer to think about? And how would you prefer to feel? I'm imagining that most of you would prefer to feel good and think about good things and happy things and things that are positive. Would you prefer to feeling the thoughts of the negative scenario that you envisioned? Or would you prefer feeling the thoughts of the positive scenario, the joy of living your dream? Like I said, one doesn't take any more effort than the other. However, the outcomes are significantly different. Struggling, living in a storm, worry, these are all thoughts you need to erase from your mind because it's not going to change your situation. How does worry change your situation? How does being negative change your situation? If you're worried about the fact that your wallet doesn't have money, guess what? It's still not going to have money in it. If you're worried about the fact that your children are going to be home and oh my gosh, what are you going to do? And how are you going to take care of them? There's homeschooling and I have to work. Worrying is not going to change anything. Negative thoughts are not going to change it. You really need to believe and have faith that although many storms are going to come throughout your life, and this is a big one. This is a big one that most of us are facing right now. Many difficulties are going to continue to come. However, focusing on being positive in what you truly want and really seeing that sometimes we go through a storm as a test to our faith or because we need to learn something from that storm that is going to help us at a future point in our life. If you believe in God, then you need to let go and let God. If you believe in the universe, then you need to let go and let the universe. One of the things that I've learned from doing my inspiration of the day that I do every day on Punta Cana Hits on the radio is at 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. in case you want to listen to it. Really, that when you place worry at the forefront, stress at the forefront of your thoughts, anxiety, you're trying to be faithful and believe. However, your thoughts continue to return to the worry, the negative, the stress. You just keep on giving life to the worry. You're giving life to the difficult. You're giving life to the bad break or the bad situation that you have at this moment. And this is ultimately just keeping it right there for you, front and center. And you're completely going to stay in that state of despair. Because how are you supposed to get out of a state of despair if that's all that you think about? Right? So it's time to reprogram your mind. And I'm going to help you do that with the help of some experts. I'm not necessarily an expert in this. However, I do know and believe that this is true because it works for me. Now, so it's, as I said, we're going to help you reprogram your mind. So I'm really excited to share with everyone. So excited to share my upcoming series behind the scenes of how thoughts become things. I don't know if you've ever heard of it before. It's a new movie out. It's considered to be the sequel to The Secret. And technically, I'm not behind the scenes with them at all at the shooting of the movie or anything like that. However, I have the opportunity to interview some of the experts featured in the movie. How Thoughts Become Things. It's a new movie produced by Douglas Vermeeren, and it's the sequel, as I said, to The Secret. I'm sure you all know The Secret, the law of attraction, or probably the majority of you do. But the interviews I have done highlight each of the experts' specific insight on the law of attraction and how they manifest and create their thoughts into becoming things, right? But we just did the test, so stop doubting me. If you're out there listening and you're one of the ones that are like, okay, but I don't believe it. Or if you're out there and saying, woohoo, yes, I'm going to do it. I know this works. I'm going to. However, maybe you just got stuck into a rut, okay? So if you're being a doubting Thomas out there, just bear with me. It doesn't do anything. You have nothing else to do right now. Probably. It's 8 o'clock at night, depending on what part of the world you are listening to me. And so what I want you to do, okay, so that you can continue getting more information about all of these things, is that after the show or during our break, I want you guys to go to my Facebook or YouTube, and you can like or subscribe to What's Up Punta Cana with Kristi Maggio, or you can follow Kristi Maggio on Instagram, so that you can continuously get the updates and new things that I'm going to be doing in this series of how thoughts become things based on the movie by Douglas Vermeeren. Now, when we come back, all right, so you can go there now like, follow, subscribe to What's Up Punta Cana with Kristi Maggio, and so that this way you don't miss any of this. But when we come back, I am going to share with you some of the clips, the trailer for the movie, so that you can listen to and hear what it's all about, and more, and trying to make this a starting point to transforming your life. So let's do this. So I'm going to leave you guys right now with a good tune about having a positive attitude and believing you can do anything from Fall Out Boy. Here's Champion. Okay, everyone, so welcome back to What's Up Punta Cana with Kristi Maggio. This is Kristi Maggio coming to you from Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. On Punta Cana Hits Radio, listening to us around the world and locally on FM radio 89.9. So I'd like to give a big shout out to all my listeners, and I'm happy that you're all tuning in tonight. So before the break, we were talking about how our thoughts can change our life. And I introduced to you all that in these next few weeks, I'm going to be doing a series called Behind the Scenes of How Thoughts Become Things, which is a new movie out, produced by none other than Douglas Vermeeren. And there are some of the top experts in the field of law of attraction, positive thinking, mental health, masters in self-help, and how to turn your life around. And some of these people are just amazing and at the top of their field, like Bob Proctor, Joe Vitale, Dennis Waitley, John Assaraf, Marie Diamond, Marina Bruni, Megan Fettis, John DeMartini, just to name a few of them. And the list goes on. And I have had the opportunity, and it's such an amazing experience, to interview some of these amazing people. It's really exciting. And I'm going to share them here with all of you over the next few weeks as we continue with this series, because I really think it's important right now for everybody to try and change their thought process, try and think more positive, and I figure why not start it here together tonight, because really there's nothing to lose. So we're going to listen to the introduction or the trailer that they have for the movie, and you're going to hear some of these amazing people and what they have to think about how your thoughts ultimately affect what you produce in your life. And can it really be that simple? And I think part of it, yes. And I think the other part of it is that you can't just sit there and think about it. You have to actually act upon it also. And your actions have to go towards, and you need to portray what it is that you are thinking. Now, there's a lot behind that. However, no one's just going to come up and knock on your door. And we're going to be talking about that and unraveling that and in the next few weeks as we continue this discussion. So, this has really been really important to me. Also, later on, I'm going to let you know how you can see the movie, How Thoughts Become Things, get an additional bonus workbook that goes with it, an audio training, and a self-help book called Power Thoughts. And even better, how to be part of the discussion group that we are going to have together going through the workbook, and then another discussion group. So there'll be two discussion groups, one where you get to discuss the book with the movie, and the second one will be the ability to have one of the experts in our discussion group to talk to them about all of your questions and their points and thoughts and everything. Just, it's going to be really, really exciting. So towards the end of the show, I'm going to give you guys information on how you can sign up to do this. So stay tuned, because you definitely don't want to miss it. So don't go anywhere. But right now, let's hear what this is all about with the introduction trailer to the movie of How Thoughts Become Things. You are listening to What's Up Punta Cana with Kristi Maggio on Punta Cana Hits Radio. Don't go away.
Over a decade ago, you were told about a secret. This secret revealed one of the most powerful laws in the universe. and a window was opened for you to see endless possibilities. It expanded your views of who you are and what you could become. You saw before you incredible possibilities for abundance and wealth. You saw the key to improving relationships and stronger connections with those you love. You saw the path to recapture your health in miraculous ways and achieve the healthier lifestyle that you've always wanted. Perhaps most important, you saw that through this secret, you could gain a greater connection with yourself, your self-worth, and insights into how you could have everything that you want and desire. This secret was based on your thoughts and the power of your frequencies and feelings. Are you ready for the next step to be revealed?
Thinking is, in my opinion, the highest function that we're capable of. The problem is most people do not think. Although it's the highest function we're capable of, very few people do it.
Well, thought is really the creative force of our mind. When our mind, who is like the energy of the universe.
We have over 50,000 thoughts that percolate up from our subconscious minds based on the patterns that are the trillions of neural connections. Every book we've read, every movie we've seen, every interaction we've had, every experience that we've had, every idea, emotion, sensation that has been orchestrated and organized in our brain, specifically our subconscious brain and our memory center, is percolating up these unimaginable thoughts.
We live in an optical illusion. You don't see what is real, you see what you believe. What you're seeing is filtered through the belief system in your mind. It's filtered through your thoughts. If you happen to think that the world is a messy, desperate, despondent place, you will look into the world and you will find evidence to match your belief. You'll have your reality match your mindset.
If we look around us, pretty much everybody is on automatic pilot most of the time, unless you are a very good control of yourself, unless you are very intentional.
It's not just thoughts become things, it's how thoughts become things. And the how, well, that's the process. And become, well, those are the changes that you're going to be able to make.
Because as you show up powerfully in that way of being, the world will respond to you. You cannot be the old way and have the world respond differently to you. So the very first thing you have to know is, who am I in this?
And if you start to unwind where those thoughts came from and how they were truly imprinted in your subconscious mind, now all of a sudden you learn how to start controlling your thoughts and creating belief structures that are your own, that weren't just given to you, but that you're actually creating from inception. And that's how we start creating more and more of our own true success as we wake ourselves up to what we really want as we get later in life.
In other words, reality is different for every human being because reality is based on what we perceive, that we've heard secondhand from our family, that we've learned from our environment, and what it means to us.
What you believe to be true is true for you, but it's not necessarily based on reality.
Our thoughts become things, and our innermost dominant thought becomes our outermost tangible reality. And whatever you think about most, you bring about most in life.
Are you ready for the next step to be revealed?
So you just listened to the introduction of the movie How Thoughts Become Things. At the end of that clip, I want you all to think about what one of the experts said. It was actually Dr. John DeMartini, and he said, whatever you think about most, you bring about most. And that our innermost dominant thought becomes our outermost tangible reality. What does that mean? Think about it. What does it mean? Our innermost dominant thought becomes our outermost tangible reality. And that whatever you think about most, you bring about most. It's interesting. So, let's think about that. Let's ponder this while we take a break, and we'll talk about it more when we come back. All right, so you are listening to What's Up Punta Cana with Kristi Maggio on Punta Cana Hits Radio. Don't go away. Okay, welcome back to What's Up Punta Cana with Kristi Maggio, and you are listening to Punta Cana Hits Radio, which can be heard all over the world on puntacanahits.com or locally here in the Punta Cana Dominican Republic area on FM 89.9. Thanks to all of our listeners out there. I am now doing a series on how thoughts become things, which is considered to be the sequel to the movie The Secret. And many of the original experts that were in the movie The Secret are also in the new movie, How Thoughts Become Things. And I read The Secret about 7-8 years ago. I think it originally came out about 10 years ago. However, it really changed and transformed my life at that point in time. And as we continue with this series, I'll share some of the ways in which by following some of these things and ideas of the law of attraction and taking control of your thoughts literally can change your world, and it has absolutely worked for me. However, I think a lot of times today in the society that we live in, we ultimately want instant, I don't want to call it instant gratification, but we sometimes want instant results. However, putting things out there and thinking positively and, attracting them to you doesn't necessarily happen in the moment that it happens. Just like in the movie, like if they said that I wanted to, I want an elephant, for example. Well, guess what? I'm and automatically in one moment an elephant goes popping up in my living room. Well, luckily, it doesn't happen like that for a great many reasons. So with this, I want to go back to where we left off before the break. Before the break, I left you with pondering the thought about what Dr. John DeMartini had said, who was a part of the original movie, The Secret. And what he said, and I'm going to repeat it a couple times here. He said, whatever you think about most, you bring about most, and that our innermost dominant thought becomes our outermost tangible reality. So let me repeat this. That our whatever you think about most, you bring about most, and that our innermost dominant thought becomes our outermost tangible reality. So let's go back to the beginning when we were talking about and doing our experiment of negative thinking and positive thinking. All right, what in that moment we were thinking about most, let's talk about the negative first, was, you were feeling negative. So, and therefore, because you were thinking negative, you were bringing about negative feelings inside of you. And that also portrays on the outside. If you don't think you can get the job, if you don't think your situation is going to change, if you don't think you're ever going to get ahead, you're never going to have the dream house, you're never going to have the nice car, you're never going to have whatever it is that you want, you're never going to write the book, be a great artist, whatever it is that you are constantly telling yourself you're never going to, As I often state, and those that know me know that my favorite quote is, whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, either way, you are 100% correct. Brought to us by none other than Henry Ford. So, but what I want you guys to realize is that's exactly what John DeMartini is saying, is that when you are, whatever you think about most, you bring about most. Now, let's go to the thought that you had about the positive thinking. All right. When you were thinking about that moment in which you were in your dream house, or you wrote your best-selling book, or you, for me, I was in a convertible driving down the highway, and with the breeze, the wind, not the breeze, the wind through my hair, and just not caring about anything, driving along the coast. And the feeling of that was just incredible. So if I'm thinking about positive thoughts, if I'm not just positive, okay, not just positive thoughts, if I'm thinking about what I want out of life, what I want out of life that's going to bring me joy, then ultimately, and this is what he's saying, you are going to bring that about in your life. And in your innermost thoughts, your innermost dominant thoughts is your outermost tangible, meaning you physically have it, reality. So if there's no difference in energy-wise of whether or not you have negative thoughts, or whether you think about what you don't want or whether you think about what you do want, the negative versus the positive, if there's no real great difference in how much energy you need to put into it, yet there's a real significant difference in what the outcome is going to be, wouldn't you want to put the energy, if it's the same in both cases, into whatever's going to bring you the best outcome? Ultimately being thinking about what you do want, thinking positively, and then ultimately creating your reality, right? I mean, it really is a no-brainer, but very few people do it. Now, I want to bring it into context for this, okay? When I say what you don't want and what you do want. For example, and you might think that if you're saying, I don't want any more bills, okay? When you said, I don't want any more bills, what did you think about in your mind? What did you envision? I bet you envisioned that desk or counter or mailbox full of bills, right? Your thought was the bills. Don't do it. I'm telling you right now, don't do it. Because what do you need to do? You need to think about what you do want. Now, if I say, I want a zero balance on my credit card bill, what am I envisioning? I'm envisioning, at least I am anyways, I am envisioning that credit card bill with a 0.00 at the bottom. Woohoo! Yes, go me. Or if I'm going to say to myself, for example, not just the credit card bills and that, or I say, I don't want my children at home for schooling next year. All right? I'm sure a lot of you guys out there can relate. What are you envisioning? I'm picturing kids in the house doing work or not doing work or arguing with their parents. You are putting that picture in your mind. And so what do you need to think about? I want my kids to go to school. Now, as soon as I said that, and it's amazing what your brain does, as soon as I said that, I envisioned a classroom of kids. Now, I'm also a teacher, so a classroom of kids, of me being in the classroom and those kids in the school. That's exactly how it works. You attract what you think about, all right? Not whether or not you put a negative, I don't want, or I don't like that. Whatever it is, the object that you think about, that's what you ultimately attract to you. And we're going to get into that more. Okay, so I think if you guys do some practices on this, you'll see how much when you say you don't want something, you're actually envisioning that thing that you don't want. So your homework, so to speak, for this week is going to be on practicing talking about what it is that you do want and getting yourself into alignment with what it is that you do want in your life. Whether it be you make a vision board, whether it be you just start changing your thoughts. I like to call it, and I'm going to hopefully write my first book soon, and like to call it the mental diet, really. And it really is. Because when you think about a diet, right? If you think about a diet, people like to go on those fast, quick, I'm going to lose weight, fast type diets. They just want it to happen and shed those pounds and woohoo, go me, right? However, to truly lose that weight and keep it off, just like truly to envision what you want and really attract it to you, it has to become a habit. So today, starting this way of thinking is going to hopefully become a habit. But just like anything, you need to practice it. You need to keep it in the forefront of your mind every day. So usually people that do that really quick diet, oftentimes the majority of them end up gaining the weight back. Why? Because it did not become a lifestyle change. It did not become a habit. And that's why I like to call it a mental diet, because really what it is you are putting your brain on a mental diet, okay? And trying to make it think in a different way than it usually has been, okay? Trying to envision your thoughts and putting these things into your mind of what you want. However, you can do it for a week and you're like, oh my gosh, I feel so good. This is so great, woohoo. But if you want that immediate, quick, it's going to happen tomorrow result, then you're going to start to lose your stamina. And you have not yet made it a habit, and therefore you're going to ultimately go back to your regular way of thinking. Now, this is not to say that you're never going to have a negative thought. Everybody does. That's just like on a diet. It's never to say that you're not going to have the cookie or the ice cream or the whatever. Everybody has negative thoughts. It's normal. It's a part of life. It's what you do with those negative thoughts that ultimately changes how you think, okay? So if I'm going to sit here and dwell on the negative thought, if I'm going to sit here and say, oh my gosh, I can't believe that this happened to me, and what am I going to do, and I can't pay my this, and I can't do this, and I lost my job. Now, everyone is valid for feeling that way. Absolutely. It is very stressful, and I'm not negating that. However, when you do have a negative thought come up in your mind, you need to look and say, okay, however, I do have this, and this. And this way you're shifting your thought from lack to what you actually have in the moment. And then you need to think about what it is that you ultimately want. And we're going to get into this more, and the experts are going to explain this more to you guys than I can do. Although I have put it into practice and I have seen it work, I'm also still learning at this point in time. So what I want you all to take from today and continue with this series with us is I want you all to at least try and start for 1 week between today, right now that you're listening, and next week, and put this into practice and let's see what happens and how you feel. Because ultimately how you feel too, it's what you're putting out there for other people to attract to you. If you're putting out negative energy, they're going to stay 10 miles away from you. If you're putting out positive energy, people are going to want to be near you more. So, all right, I have gone on long enough. When we come back, I'm going to close the show and we're going to have a little listen to one more clip, and I am going to fill you in and tell you more about how you can be a part of our discussion group of how thoughts become things, and also have that discussion group with one of the experts from the movie and how you can actually get the movie. So don't go away. Stay tuned. We will be right back with What's Up Punta Cana with Kristi Maggio on Punta Cana Hits. Are you tired of your current circumstances? Do you want to transform your life? What if I told you you can, just by changing your thoughts? Seem too simple? Join me, Kristi Maggio, on the study of the new movie, How Thoughts Become Things, sequel to the movie The Secret. You will learn that by changing the way you think and understanding the law of attraction, your life will shift into a whole new direction. The first 25 people to sign up will have the opportunity to do a study of the movie with one of the masters that are featured in How Thoughts Become Things. So let's do this together. What do you have to lose other than another day of being dissatisfied? Send me an email and I'll send you the link. Let's transform our lives together. All right. Welcome back to What's Up Punta Cana with Kristi Maggio. And so we're coming to the end of the show. I love that song. I love T.I. and I love that song, Get Back Up. It's one of those songs that just really just makes you feel good and positive and feel like you could just do about anything. And so, that's a really good idea for y'all out there. So, even for this week, when you're transforming your thoughts and getting those thoughts in alignment, get some feel-good music. Some music that makes you be happy and positive and makes you move and brings a smile to your face. Good step in the right direction. And so, you just heard the promotion that I am doing for How Thoughts Become Things and the discussion group. And obviously in that promotion, you can't see the email. However, you can watch this segment of What's Up Punta Cana with Kristi Maggio on our YouTube page, which is What's Up Punta Cana with Kristi Maggio. It's also on Facebook and Instagram, and my email is Kristi, Kristi, at Maggio, Maggio, multiculturalfoundation.org. And so, therefore, if you are interested and you want to be a part of our discussion group with one of the experts and you want to see the movie, then don't waste time because only 25 spots are available for that. And I've already got 8 people, and I started promoting it yesterday. So let's get going to change your whole life. So, again, anything that questions, concerns, anything you want to know more about for tonight, just go into, if you have Facebook, if you have Instagram, if not, this will be on YouTube, so you can listen to it all over again. And don't waste time. Let this be the starting point of moving forward in your life. Next week's show, I'm going to have a combination of my interviews with the producer of How Thoughts Become Things, Douglas Vermeeren, and one of the people who worked behind the scenes and who also works for the Bob Proctor Institute. It was Sheena Cantor. So she's in London, and I'm really excited about sharing those interviews with both of you. Not with both of you, from them. I don't even know what I'm talking about right now. So anyways, so let's do this. Let's do this together. Let's get everybody on board. Share this with everybody. And what, like I said before, what do you have to lose? There's not a whole lot to lose. Other than another day of being negative. So I'm going to leave you with Bob Proctor and his promotion for the movie How Thoughts Become Things. Again, thank you so much for tuning in tonight to What's Up Punta Cana with Kristi Maggio. Don't forget, you can find us on Facebook, on Instagram, on our YouTube channel, of course, on Punta Cana Hits Radio. You can go to puntacanahitsradio.com and tune into Punta Cana Hits Radio at any time, all day, 24 hours a day, from anywhere in the world. So exciting. And really, let's make this the first day of a positive start to the rest of your life. So, take care. Have a wonderful week, everyone, and get those thoughts and visions going and share them with me. I would love to hear about it. Have a good night.
Hello there, and welcome. I'm Bob Proctor. You know, people all over the world recognize me wherever I go, and I think it's because of the movie The Secret. The Secret went wild. Well, do you know, this movie that I'm in now, I believe it's going to go the same direction. It's on thought. Thought's the highest function that you're capable of. This could be a movie that will change the direction of your life and lead you to everything you want, because thought is the preamble to everything. I want to endorse this. I want to highly endorse it. You're going to move into a vibration watching this movie that you may have never been in before. It's going to affect you. It'll affect your mind in a very creative and a very productive manner. So make sure you come and watch it, but bring a couple of friends so you can sit down afterwards, have a wonderful time discussing it. I'll look forward to seeing you there.
Are you tired of your current circumstances? Do you want to transform your life? What if I told you you can, just by changing your thoughts? Seem too simple? Join me, Kristi Maggio, on the study of the new movie How Thoughts Become Things, sequel to the movie The Secret. You will learn that by changing the way you think and understanding the law of attraction, your life will shift into a whole new direction. The first 25 people to sign up will have the opportunity to do a study of the movie with one of the masters that are featured in How Thoughts Become Things. So let's do this together. What do you have to lose other than another day of being dissatisfied? Send me an email and I'll send you the link. Let's transform our lives together.